Hi, this is Sherry. I'm coming at you from the boathouse down here in Canyon Lake. It's not quite as hot today, but too hot to be up on my patio. The sun's already hit there. And we have a little barn swallow. Do you see right there on the line? He's sitting on the wire. That's interesting because the barn swallow is the harbinger of hope. And what I was going to say is I'm not really going to have I'm not going to go into total messengers because I have got so many cards. I kept trying to whittle them down and try to pick out ones that I felt maybe we shouldn't have. And I kept asking Spirit, should I get rid of this one? Should I get rid of that one? And I just kept getting them. So I think what I'm going to do is not maybe go into them quite as depth. The ones that I know we were supposed to talk about, we'll do, but I'm going to skim over just kind of like the highlights of a couple. And one of them comes in reverse. So there's a message to that as well. Reverse is a challenge or maybe a different way of looking at something. So the deck that we're going to be using is the Faery Oracle by Cavendish. And I did a spread last night and I was like, wow, I couldn't get over what I got last night. And I said I should use all these cards and then I shuffled them all away, but I got a lot of them again today. So confirmation. Okay, so the first message that we have is the Midnight Prince. And you see this one sitting here. Clearly it's midnight, stars are out, right? What do you do when you see the star? Wish upon a star. And he's saying to you, ask for what you want. And he wants you to be honest. So if you had a wish that could be granted, what would it be? And he's not going to stand in judgment of you. I just have to show you something. I just had an entire flock all fly over there, all at one time, the yellow-bellied warblers. And the yellow, here I always say I'm not going to do a totem messenger, but I swear to God, they just flew above my head like a little flock and landed right there. And the yellow-bellied warblers talks about speaking out. There's so many of them, so that needed to be said. So somebody needs to speak out. I mean, we've been told this for so long, it's ridiculous. But that they showed up like that was telling, right? So the Midnight Prince, and take a look at this guy. He's sitting there, and he wants to grant you a wish. And he's looking into your eyes, so he wants you to look into his eyes. And what he's basically saying is, a wish of yours is coming true. There is something that is about to make its way to you. And he's making, this fairy prince is making his way into your life very soon. So you need to make sure that you know what it is that you want. That you're keeping your thoughts focused on your intentions, keeping your thoughts only positive, and they want you to, or he's asking you not to water it down, not to think small, not to be worried about what you're asking for. Like, are you asking for money? Are you asking for love? Are you asking for career? Are you asking for something that you might think maybe I shouldn't ask for this? And at this time he's saying, I'm not judging you. You are not going to be judged. Your wishes are not bad. And if there's something that's like a baser thing, like I want sex in my life, I want like a real deep connection, and I want a fulfilling sex life. Maybe that's not something you would think would be appropriate to ask for. But he's saying, I'm not judging your darkness. If you consider that dark, it's not. It's natural. So they're telling you, don't put limits on yourself. What is it that you are wishing for? Be bold and be brave. And the thing is to be honest, right? Be honest. If there are blocks that are in between with what it is that you're wanting, and maybe you're not asking, or you're not speaking out loud, look into these blocks and begin to have them lifted, because this wish is coming to you. And there's plenty wishes for everyone around. So he's saying, just allow yourself to be truly honest, basically with the universe, and because the Spirit already knows what it is that you're asking for, and they're saying your wish is on its way. So get real clear and real obvious, and like I said, don't pussyfoot around, and don't act as though it wouldn't be right for you to ask for that. Maybe some people feel it's inappropriate to ask for money. We've got a lot of blocks. That's a block. That could be like for me. I was raised in a very religious family. It was all about humility and not putting focus on material things. But we do need to live in this world, right? And we need material things to survive. But it isn't even just that. Why should we just survive? Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to have enough money that you can do your work and in comfort and in ease, and travel at leisure. Maybe you want to bring something into your life that maybe you think that it's not right to ask for it. Wrong. You got to change your way of thinking. Get rid of these blocks. Get rid of these Vows of poverty, vows of chastity. These are things that have been put on us from maybe religion, from childhood, from past lives, and they need to go. So that's the first message. Number 43, 4, angels all around you, 3, coming full circle completion, but also an ascended master. Okay, so the gift. We see this little guy, and if you look up closely, he's quite shy, this little gnome, and he's coming to this little fairy girl, and he's presenting her with this little beautiful flower. And he's quite shy. He looks like he might not be well received. So what they're saying is it's a present, it's an offering that's coming. Now, what this present could be, you know, whatever it is, it's nurturance, growth, potential. All of these are the things that are brought forward with it. It could be love, it could be friendship, abundance, whatever it is. Will she accept it? Because he doesn't know if she will. He's like, oh, I don't know. So when this card makes an appearance, it's telling you that, seeing that this little guy is like he's like a fairy gnome, so he's from like the forest, he's from nature, right? So there's a very down-to-earth person that may be about to make you a good offer. So the more grounded you are, the better you're going to make use of the gift that he brings you. This one, see, now they're showing him this way. This isn't necessarily how he appears, but they're showing this for a reason. This one may be underestimated, right? Others may not recognize what this person has. And maybe what he proposes to you, maybe when he comes to you with it, at first you may not think much of it, because look, he's holding just a little flower. Now to me, I look at things very different, and I that would move my heart, right? But what maybe at the time when it comes to you, you're not going to understand. But the one that's offering this gift is there to care for you and protect you. He's there to nurture your gifts, your skills, and he really doesn't want anything back except for good thoughts and good wishes. So a lot of times it's difficult for us to accept presents or accept gifts or accept things from others. We feel like we have to work to earn it. And they're saying, no, he doesn't want anything from you. So it talks about maybe it's a time for us to grow our dreams. Maybe instead of moving quickly from one thing to another, maybe we're supposed to kind of get grounded, like this little gnome, right? Maybe he's coming to give you counsel. Whatever it is, this gift is going to help you. So the gift might help you with as I said, money problems. It might help you with the energy that you're working with, like working with crystals. I've been doing a lot of working with crystals, working with animals, maybe working gardening, something to do with nature, something to do with trees. And that's interesting about trees. I'm really big on trees, and my friend Brian said to me yesterday, draw me a tree. I'm reading trees right now. He says to make it very detailed. So it's interesting that trees would come into play. So whatever it is that this little gift that this one is bringing forth, it has to do with your well-being and your transformation. So this proposal, it's going to change your life, and it's not it's small and maybe not very glamorous, but it's got massive. Oh, I just saw a huge fish jump out of the water. I had the camera turned around. I'm going to look back at that time and see if I could catch it. It was right between those bars. Just as I turned the camera around, I saw the splash. So I know that he jumped out when the camera was there. That's pretty cool. So what it is that's coming is, it may not look glitzy and glamorous and shiny, right? But it's got massive potential. All right? So it's got the ability to bring something great. And you're going to be working with your hands. Maybe this is, whatever it is, it's something to do with animals, with nature, with animal lovers, the ecosystem. I'm not quite certain. It also talks about the fact that he's coming and bringing this flower. Somebody shy that's not quite certain is bringing a peace offering to her, and he doesn't know if she's going to be okay with it. Maybe there's been a disagreement, or maybe there's been a misunderstanding, or maybe something's happened and he feels like, I want to go to her, but I don't know if she's going to accept me. And I can tell you that she is. She is. This one has unfounded fear. So it talks about, like I said, there could be issues to do with brothers or sisters, and what's interesting is they're talking about twins. Issues to do with twins. Now, it could be natural born twins, but since we're going into the gateway and the solar eclipse, there is the twins are coming together, the twin souls. There's an opening that's pulling them together. So there could be a misunderstanding or something that needs to happen, and this one's a little trepidatious about moving forward, but he's not to be. Okay, and also brothers and sisters come up. So issues between brothers and sisters. Perhaps there needs to be a peace offering. Maybe somebody is going to try, or doesn't even want to try because he thinks the other one won't accept it. But they're saying, do it. Do it. It will be accepted. You will be well received. Okay? So that's the first, that's the second message. The next one is Gossamer Princess. And you see this one, and she's sitting on this web. It's a spider's web. And there's a butterfly transformation, 3, coming full circle completion, right? Now she's sitting there and she's thinking. And the message is communication, relationship work to be done. So in this instance, what they're talking about is you see the strands, right, that are woven there. And the strands of a spider web are very, very strong. They look very fragile, but they're not. They're actually really strong. You try to get through them, and they're quite sticky, right? So she's sitting here looking at, some of them have come apart, right? Some of them are kind of like hanging there, dragging. And what she's talking about is she's making a decision whether she should reweave these strands together or allow them to be. There's a relationship where the strands need to be rewoven and changed. It seems that there's some kind of an important strand in their life, whether she's trying to decide whether I should rework this or just let this go. And I'm thinking about this too, when they were talking about brothers and sisters. Maybe that's a strand in a family that they're deciding at this time, is this something that I should, there's been some kind of a breakdown. Should I repair this, or should I try to repair this, or should I move on? Last night when I did the video reading, I said that there was a situation that was pretty intense, and there was a lot of misunderstanding, and there was manipulation, and there was lies and hurt that had happened. But it also said not to get upset. Hear everyone out. The last message to dream on last night, it said that there was going to be an altercation. There was going to be a heated debate, and things were going to come to the surface, and everyone was going to realize where you stood. But you were being told to stay calm, not say things that you didn't truly mean, or maybe at the moment you think you mean it, but later you'll regret it. So don't be drawn into the drama and saying things that you will regret later. And it was asking you to try and see from everyone's perspective, try and understand maybe where something went wrong. So maybe this one is apologizing, and this one here is trying to decide, shall I do this? Shall I try and weave this together? It also talks about breakdowns in communication. Maybe you haven't heard from a friend. Maybe you've been speaking less with family members, or not paying attention to the things that draw us together, or keep us together. And the strands, they seem very, very delicate, right? But they're not. They're very, very strong. Spider webs, I was looking to see if I could find one down here, but they withstand rain, wind. They're very strong. So if you put the effort into this that you're thinking about doing here, and you start to reweave it, things can be recreated. Whoops. Things can be recreated, and maybe they'll be stronger than they were before. Woo! Because when things fall apart, they fall apart for a reason, right? Why do you have to do this to me? Everything's blowing around all over the place. So things, I'm gonna have to put something in front of this to keep these cards from blowing. What can I use? Hold on, I'll go get something. The cards are all over the place, and I don't want to lose them. You know what? I'll put my sunglasses there. That'll just have to be what it is. And I've covered up our cards. So hold on a second. So, they withstand storms. They're very, very strong, and it just takes a little bit of reweaving. And as I said, things can be recreated, you know, and so remember that saying that says sometimes things fall apart so they can come back together stronger than they were before. So that's what they're showing at this point in this person's in this card. And what they're saying is, you know, maybe you've been you got to look at it in all kinds of different ways. Maybe you've been experiencing communication breakdowns or difficulties. Maybe it's just communication, because we're going to be going into Mercury retrograde. So this would be a really good time to get your communication done, because when Mercury comes, things get messed up again. So it could be that there's technology issues. Your emails you're not able to reach each other through emails. Maybe you've got incorrect email addresses. Maybe there's misunderstandings that need to be straightened out. So look at her. She's sitting here trying to figure out what to do, and I see these 3. That means coming full circle completion. So something's over. So maybe there's been a disagreement, a time of drawing apart, but it's over. Coming full circle. Transformation. There's definitely been a transformation that's taken place at this time. So consider maybe spending time with people that you haven't seen for a long time. And know whatever it is that you decide, you know, it's worth maybe taking just the time to step in and just check and see if it's worth trying to do this. Maybe send out an invitation and see if it's accepted at this time. I saw that in my dream the other night. Somebody, I won't tell you what it was because it's very personal, but there was an invitation that was sent out, and it was sent to a family member, and it was a big deal, and I don't know what the answer was, but the invitation was sent. So I feel like that's my prophetic vision saying that this is about to happen, and maybe the person who's on the edge wondering whether they should do this, I saw that they did. They sent it out. So if that helps you at all, I saw the invitation was sent out. Now, it doesn't mean the invitation is going to be accepted. We can try, and it does, and that's where you are going to make the decision of whether it's time to walk away for a while and let this be. Some things aren't meant to be put back together, right? But you're supposed to be going at this in a peaceful, loving, what would love do, what would love say? Maybe there's things that you need to talk through. Maybe your feelings. Maybe you've been feeling isolated. Maybe you have isolated yourself and others have felt isolated from you, and you've got misunderstandings or total confusion and things that need to be straightened out and talked through. So they're asking you to do this as you sit here wondering about this. They're definitely talking about don't wait for another to make the first move, you know? And maybe in certain situations there are others that need to make a first move. If you're not able to reach the other person, clearly they have to make the move, right? So then don't be the one waiting for someone to do something. What do you want? Miracles? You know, we do get miracles, but when it has something to do with this, we're being told, take a look at this. Maybe you're the one that's supposed to reach out and do something here. There is a possibility to recreate, but it definitely talks about, you know, a transformation. So there are new beginnings and gentle endings. So maybe the invitation that was sent out, it may not have been accepted. And like I said, I ran into my old best friend, right? And I extended love, and it was not accepted. So that was to let go. It was time to let go. It was a gentle letting go. It was an ending. It didn't hurt. I let it go. I tried, and I gave it my, you know, I gave it my all as far as what would love do, what would love say. I said and did what would love would do. So maybe this is all that's required of you at this time. It definitely talks about the ending of one thing and moving into another. Okay, so that's that message. Then we've got straight into the woods. Okay, so here's this girl, and she's going into the woods, my favorite place. She looks a little nervous. Stranger in a strange land. So think about what the woods would represent, the forest. You know, forest can be scary, the forest can be beautiful. It just depends on where you are. It depends on the climate. It depends on the type of forest. It can be a dark, kind of creepy, windy forest, rainy. It can be a beautiful, green, lush, and it just depends, right? So this one's pretty, but there's wind going through it. But still, to me, I think it's very beautiful. But maybe to this person, it's something different. She seems a little fearful because she's moving from, I think what's going on is she's come out of somewhere where she's possibly been hiding. Maybe she's been deep in the forest. Ooh, she's got a rabbit right there, which is new beginnings. It's also talking about timidity, right? So she might have come out of deep into the forest, and she's now, because we can see her. We can see her. It's brighter here. So she might have come in from a darker area, and now she's exposed. So she's going out, her animal companions are there. So you think about what the animal companions mean. So a rabbit could mean timidity, but also a rabbit means giant leaps forward. It also means creativity. It also means fertility. There's a lot of positive messages. So her animal companions are there to talk to her and guide her through. It definitely talks about going from worlds, from one realm to another, and definitely taking you far beyond your comfort zone. But as I said, if you look very close, the forest has got flowers. These are wisteria flowers to me, and it's not scary. This is a beautiful forest. This is a very loving, warm place, and it's flowering. So it talks about rewards of going from, she will be rewarded from coming out of the darkness and coming into because this is symbolic, coming into exposing herself and being more vulnerable. She's going to be rewarded. This is abundance flowing down and all around her. There's wealth coming to her here. So she might feel a little bit awkward or vulnerable, conspicuous, uncertain, you know, until she gets to a place where she might feel a little bit more sheltered. Maybe she's not comfortable being totally in the open like this, but she is stepping out, right? She's stepping out. And as she steps out, something's going to happen to her. Once she steps out and faces her fears, all of a sudden the fears start to melt away. So she's feeling like it's going to be scary, Maybe she feels, maybe what she's doing because of the messages that we got before, you know, she's sitting here thinking about what she's gonna, you know, people that she hasn't spoken to, mending fences. Maybe I don't feel like maybe I won't be received if I go home or if I go back. And maybe she's feeling guilty. Maybe she's got, you know, whatever it is, in their place, as she goes and faces all of these emotions, it changes from guilt and fear and trepidation to calmness, to acceptance, to understanding and recognizing I'm recreating what was. I'm turning it into something different. I'm taking these broken strands, whatever this was, and I'm creating something beautiful. I'm actually in a very beautiful, safe place. But whatever it is, they're saying, it's time. Spirit is saying, it's time to move beyond your shelter. Wherever you have been, wherever you've been hiding, wherever you have been, like me in my tower, my my Rapunzel tower. It's time to come out now and be once again amongst people. Go into a place where you have felt uncomfortable before. And as I said, it might feel strange and uncomfortable for a little bit. But as you grow and change, you will become stronger. So she knows that she's walking through areas that she's going to be exposed and challenged. And she's going to be very careful. She is going to be careful. She's looking over her shoulder. She's not stupid. She's not going to throw herself into a war zone, right? She's going to be careful about it, and she's going to go where there's love, where there's kindness, where there's understanding, where there's truth, where there's light. She's going into the light. She's going away from the darkness. So she's walking, but she's looking over her shoulder. She's being careful. So not knowing maybe the area that she's going into or how she's supposed to behave in that certain area, she's being careful. So they're definitely saying, don't allow your own self-talk to get into the way. Don't allow your monkey mind to say, I'm scared, I can't do this. You need to stop that. Ooh, and there she is. Check it out. So here she is wondering, and there she is jumping off. Now, I didn't put these in the order that they're just coming up, so this is pretty cool. She's jumping off, and she's got her arms back. And she's being carried. So when Spirit says to take a leap, because she says, catch me, and she's trusting. Trust, surrender, leap of faith into the unknown. So she's going into the unknown. And there were storm clouds here, and she is literally not, she's got her head held by, hands back, bare feet, walking straight off without any thought. And she's trusting that Spirit will catch her if she needs to be caught. But she's going. She's going for it. Whatever this is, she's done her thinking. She's done her thinking, she's left the forest, and she's taking this leap, and she's going into the unknown. So, fully exposed, chest full, bare feet means something to me. So it might feel like, you know, she's falling off the top of a building. She's literally jumping off the top of a building. So maybe people in your life are going to think you're nuts for doing this, right? You're going barefoot. You don't even have your feet covered. Your feet are bare, and you're jumping off the top of a building. You don't have a net. You don't have anything there. It represents maybe something that other people might think is crazy, like leaving a safe job, maybe jumping into a relationship like full on, making a move. Like this person is like literally leaving where I was. I'm going into something completely different. I'm just going to go for it. I've decided. I've thought about this long enough. I know how I feel, and I'm just leaping in, both feet in. Both feet in, no shoes on, jumping in, right off the top of the building. I'm going to do it. Other people are thinking, wow, you're foolhardy. You're taking a crazy risk because you're just acting in faith that Spirit's going to catch you. And I get this because I do this all the time, and I absolutely do. When Spirit says to do it, do it. And you don't know how you're going to do it. Spirit says, we will catch you. So I understand this. I would never call this risky. I would call this smart because Spirit is the one who's got their back. Look at her whole entire dress is covered with these ravens. Ravens talk about magic and miracles coming from the void. So she is 100%. There is no way that she's going to fall. She's acting out of her inner guidance. She's got nothing to fear. Her fears are not realized. She's leaving this comfort zone and this safety zone. And she's going to be carried into the unknown, and she has definitely focused because she's lifting her thoughts to her higher self. She's listening to her higher self. She's not listening to that worried person. She's not listening to this, I'm not quite certain. She's not listening to, I don't know if I'll be accepted. She's just doing it. I'm going to do this. I'm going for this. 100%. My higher self said that this is what I meant to do, so I'm going to surrender. This is definitely a card that comes through when you have come through some kind of a crisis. Her energy is clearly innocent. This one has got an innocent energy, maybe not very knowledgeable in the world, very trusting, but that's very powerful because she can be completely trusting. And it looks as though there's no worldly protection, right? There's no outside protection that we're able to see. That's what I like, is how they talk about the protection that we can't see. Because I don't see the wind either, and it's blowing my cards all over the place. I know it's there. And that's something that people say, oh, you use that all the time. But it's a fact. You don't see God, but you see his active force. I don't see, and I have seen angels, but others haven't seen angels or God or whatever you call the source, the creator. But you see the actions, and you see that you're taken care of. And so that's what she's going for. You don't see the net. You don't see someone there standing below to catch her. Here comes the swallow. Hope coming back. She's definitely going on nothing but faith. And what's interesting is, check out the clouds. There are clouds around her. Now here she's left a kind of a beautiful place. It was safer, calmer. Still a little bit cloudy, but here there's storm clouds. So maybe there are ones that are disagreeing. So maybe she has thought about it. Maybe she's gone and tried to make amends, and it was a no. Maybe the invitation that I saw sent out, the answer was no. And there are storm clouds that are gathering all around her, right? But she's going to go. She's doing this anyway. She's taking what they consider a risk, and she is going on her intuition and following her heart and knowing that Spirit's going to catch her. So that's a very powerful message. The next message, this one is something else. The Acorns invitation. And you see this man, and he looks like Robin Hood. Butterfly wings, but they're more like moth wings. Now, to me, the moth talks about sensuality. The moth attracts its mate through hormones, through the pheromones, and it's the sensual kind of energy that comes from the mothman. So this is a mothman, the acorn's invitation. So he comes from the acorn trees, from the acorns. He's bare-chested, he's barefoot, so he's like her. He's a risk taker, right? He's clearly from nature. He's clearly a grounded, natural in his desires. And what he's talking about is touch, exchange, connection. And what's talking about is this fairy man is inviting you to enter something. He is talking about the life force that moves through you, and it's talking about expression, and it's talking about physical connection and touch. That's why he's naked. That's why his hands are naked, his feet, his chest is bare, and he is wanting to remind you that touch can, without touch, we can become sad, we can become sick, we can literally become sick. We need to touch, we need physical touch. We need to stay away, get away from this isolation, this place where we have maybe felt safe, but we've come to a place where we don't have a connection. We've been missing the connection. I said yesterday, was it yesterday? Maybe the day before, when I reached out and I did the reading, I need a connection. I'm calling this in. I need this. It's been too long. And so what he's saying is this connection is powerful. This exchange, you need to touch. To touch another is good. Hugging, holding hands, giving a massage, pet a cat, pet a dog, look into someone's eyes, touch them, because it comforts you, it soothes you, it makes you vibrate. When I touched my twin, I vibrated. We hugged. He says, I need to hug you, and we hugged, and it was a vibration between us. It was a healing, loving embrace. And so he's encouraging this at this time. It's absolutely essential. And it's a mutual act. When it's a mutual act, it's a good, loving thing. When somebody touches you and it's unwanted, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a mutual, loving touch, right? Then when it's consensual and it's done in that way, the touch in return, there's no guilt or judgment or fear or shame. There is just touch of ecstasy and bliss. And they want you to experience this. Whether this is in a love relationship, whether you're hugging a friend, whether you're holding an animal, whatever it is, needing to get a massage. It's funny, I've been saying lately, I need a massage, and really what I need is I need to hold my twin. That's what I need. I need that touch again, that healing touch. And we said that, and when he hugged me, he says, God, do you feel that? And all I could feel was my heart just beating out of my chest. I'm saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. But he says, you feel that vibration. It was amazing. So it was very healing. It was a beautiful, beautiful communion. And that's what this fairy prince is speaking about. But he also is speaking about that particular man. It talks about a physical man. He's appealing in his body, in nature, right? He's healthy. He's got a sexual appetite that's healthy. It's not dirty. It's good. This is what's coming forward as well. This person, he's kind of like I said, Robin Hood, or maybe Peter Pan, because he is a man, but he's got that youthful kind of ever childlike innocence about him, and he's there to be with his woman, and he loves her and he wants to honor her. he looks at her like a goddess. I love that. He looks at her like a goddess, and what they have between them is beautiful. And he's not coming at her with this degrading kind of base sexual, I want to rip your clothes off and carnal, which is not bad if it's mutual, right? But that's not what he's coming. He's coming with absolute deep love and honor. He honors her physicality. He loves her body. He wants to help her recognize the healthiness and fill this empty void that's been between them. It talks about healing and this loving touch. He respects her. He loves her. And he's reminding us that when we have that between, look at, it's these two possibly coming together. When you have that feeling between the two of you, that is sacred sexual bliss. That is, no one can have that touch and be unchanged. Love heals everything, and when you have a physical touch like that, with those emotions coming from a place like this, it's definitely sublime, super sensitive. It also talks about maybe you need to make better choices. Maybe it's about, that's what you're supposed to have. Maybe you've only known like a carnal kind of rough, rugged, take it, hit it hard sex life. Maybe you have never really ever had sacred sexual bliss. Maybe you've never really experienced true, deep love from your soul. And that's what's going on here. So maybe you need to make better choices about who you touch or who you allow to touch you. Because it's called love making. Earthy, deep sensuality. You don't have that in like with a hooker. You don't have that with a boy toy or a one night stand or friends with benefits. This is a deep relationship of absolute sacred sexual bliss. That card is amazing. 1, keep your thoughts positive. 7, you're on the right path. Oh, and that follows just perfectly because the Greenmans bride, sacred union, commitment ceremony, maturing into a deep relationship. So what's going on here is this wild man of the forest, he has found his bride. He has found the one that he has been looking for. They have found each other. And he's wild. He's definitely wild. He's got a very strong, passionate, wild feeling towards her. So when I said we're not talking about carnal, rip your clothes off. Oh, they want that. He feels that. But with that, it's not one or the other. It's all together. So they've got that. That what they have between them is like nothing else. This is a time when a partnership has reached the stage where there's going to be a ceremony of some type. It doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage. Some people don't believe in marriage. It's a commitment ceremony or just committing yourselves to one another. Some people do a ceremony out in the forest and it's just between them. But whatever it is, this love between this green man and his bride is deep, deep, deep love. They are no longer this. Now it's funny because I had this card and I threw it out because it talks about a new love coming in. Now it talks about new love, courtship, falling in love, romance, and I said I've got so many cards, I've got to drop one, and this one fell down. But since we're talking about this is the beginning, and it talks about the feeling that you have, and it might be before they get together, the feeling where you're thinking about each other all the time, and you can't. And everything you do, you want them there. It's that you feel better and you ache for them. That's this love, this new love, this falling in love. And people that are newly in love, they're obnoxious to their friends. They don't even want to be around anyone. So it talks about going away. That's probably why people go on honeymoons, because they need that time alone together. They need to not be around anyone because they're so sappy sick with each other. People are like nauseated. But it's such a beautiful, wonderful thing, right? So they've passed this. These guys have gone past that giddy feeling of romance, and these ones have got euphoria. I can't tell you the personal meaning for that word, but euphoria is what they are feeling. Euphoria is the feeling like a drug would give you, right? So it takes you to the highest level. He has definitely found his beloved, and the beloved is absolutely a soulmate connection, a twin soul connection. The beloved and the beloved, it is the highest form of sacred sexual union. And they're ready. They're ready for this. They're no longer innocent. And what's interesting is they're not innocent in how they feel about one another, but I feel like they are still innocent and shy. I keep getting that energy in here. Now, maybe it's until they get in front of one another, because I was with my twin, and I know he was, but as soon as I saw him, my body just took over, and I was on automatic pilot. And it's like don't have to fake it. You don't have to think about what you're going to do next. It just naturally flows. It's just real. So that's what's going on with this situation here. It talks about these people are absolutely in love and they're ready to take that next step. So they're ready. They've been thinking, right? They've left where they're hiding and they are ready to take this leap. And to them, it's not a leap. It's the next natural progression. It's where they have to go. They can't stop it. It's absolutely stepping into their future. And the thing is, between these ones are wise. They've learned their lessons. They've gone through all their crap. They've dealt with their baggage and they've faced their demons. And that doesn't mean everything is perfect, but they have worked through things. They have done their job. They have done their work. And now they come together strong, right? The strength between these two, they're both connected to the earth. They're very grounded. They're connected to their spirituality. They know what's real. They know what matters. And that's what they have in front of them. They honor one another. This is the masculine and feminine in both of them. And they honor and love he loves the masculine in her, and she loves the feminine in him. And that's where you know these people are mature and ready. When you can allow your sensitivity to be shown. Men can allow themselves to cry in front of someone or see their weakness, or what they feel is their weakness. That's a strong relationship. When a woman can allow herself to be vulnerable, I'm not somebody who allows somebody to see my weaknesses. But when you can allow yourself to see that in front of someone, and also for a man, when you can allow a woman to be strong and you aren't threatened by that, you recognize the value for both of you because you're working as a team. These two are on each other's team. That is a sign of maturity and real love. So that's what's going on. It talks about the devotion between these two is so deep. It talks about they're definitely kindred spirits. They have a new kind of family. These two may have actually had to leave behind, is what I'm getting from this. It doesn't have to be this way for everyone that's getting this message, but for what I'm seeing here, you've asked for something, there's been a misunderstanding, or you're a little bit nervous about being accepted. You're wondering which ties should I build, which ties should I, so I kind of feel like, and I actually saw this, so I'm not just guessing, I actually saw this. The invitation being sent out was going to someone that they didn't think was going to be receptive, okay? But they were trying to give them the opportunity. They gave them the option. I don't know I do know, but I'm not going to say. But they've decided to move ahead anyway. And perhaps the people that they were telling thought they were crazy and they don't want to support it. But the draw between these two is way too strong. And they've made their decision and they're going forward. They are honoring one another. They are equal in physicality, spirituality, mentally, and emotionally. They are equals. This woman and this man are two and the same. They're one. That's who they are. So the next message is Barnabas and the Prince. Now that makes sense too. What is the last one? That's curious. Okay, so Barnabas and the Prince. Adventures, discovery, travel, meeting, destiny. So now the frog, he's harnessing the frog, he's riding on the frog. The frog represents healing and transformation. And here's the prince, and he is going out on the back of his frog. So what it's talking about is he's seeking, he's our hero, he's a wanderer. So this card, remember I said I didn't have them in order, I just kind of grabbed them all? This should have been maybe in the beginning. But, you'll get the message. It's basically talking about your dreams. And in order for your dreams to come true, you need to take action and get out of your comfort zone, right? You need to leave the woods. You need to take the leap of faith. You need to ask. You need to say what you want. You need to ask for what it is that you want. You need to take all of these actions need to take place in order for your dreams to come to you. So this one is in search of his soulmate. He's actively looking for his true love. He knows that she won't be missing. He knows that there won't be a missing part of him because they are whole together, is what it is. He doesn't seek to find one just like him because they're complements to one another. He's not looking for one exactly like him. He's looking for one that completes his puzzle. He knows that when he finds her, he'll get it. There will be no doubt. So it speaks about, when you get this card, that your quest and your search is about to have a successful end. You're going to get what you're looking for and more. They want you to turn to the natural world and hear what it has to say. So maybe listening to the animal messengers, the ones that came in the flock were the warblers that say speak out, right, which is this message. And it's talking about you're going to have to go on this quest, on an adventure. You have to travel to where you're being guided so that you can have this dream come true. So it talks about finding love, adventure, and gifts and mysteries, and finally, everything. You're going on a quest. I love that. I love quests. I go on quests all the time. So he may be going with his Greenman, like the bride or the girlfriend or his love, or he may have to go on a quest. He may need to go find her. He may need to research. Maybe he doesn't have her phone number. Maybe he doesn't have her address. What do you have to do to find her? You can find her. There's all kinds of ways to find her. Now, it doesn't have to be a man. It could be a woman. It doesn't have to be a love. It can be a job. It can be a career. It can be a home. Whatever it is for you. It could be a dream, a vocation. Whatever it is, it's reaching out for you, just like you've reached out for it. And so you let the world know that you want them to deliver it. Tell them what it is that you want, right? Let the universe bring it in. It does speak about searching for a soulmate, and it talks about actively doing this. And in order for that to happen, you've got to walk the right path, right? And be at the right place at the right time. So staying deep into the forest, you're not going to be there because you're not going to find one another. You can't be up on a hill, in a castle, hidden away. You have to be where you're going to be able to be seen, right? So you're going to have to leave your comfort zone. Again, you keep being told that. You need to be active. In order for travel and adventure to happen and soul growth to happen, you need to move forward. You need to leave where you're at. That's what travel and adventure is all about. And you're going to change quite a bit. And you are the adventurer. I love that. I call myself the adventurer. So this is really exciting for me. I love this reading. I love this whole reading. And maybe whatever's happened, maybe the miscommunication, maybe the misunderstandings or things that need to be cleared, and the relationship mending that needs to happen. Maybe there are some things that you're going to have to talk about. Maybe it's not going to be all, maybe there's going to be tears. And there probably will be tears. But through the tears, a healing takes place and understanding takes place, because you must realize that deep underneath it, deep in it is love and understanding and friendship. So even if there's something that may be difficult to say, maybe there's something that you're afraid to bring out, you have to do this. And through your tears, you will heal and you will grow. So that's all part of the adventure. You'll change, right? And you don't need to die to go home to spirit. We talk about going home, coming home. People have said that to me about my twin. Are you sure he's not dead? And I'm like, no, I don't know. I thought about that for a while. Is he dead? Because I keep asking him to come home. And I said, no, my father said he's bringing him home. He's bringing him home. And my mom said she's going to help bring him home. He is coming home. And he just asked me to come with him in a dream. And I said, yes. So he needs to do it. But coming home, a lot of times people think, the fish just jumped out of the water. Good sign. So he's left his comfort zone, right? He's jumping out of the water, going after what he wants. He was after the little bug in the air, and he was going to get it. And he got it. And then he went back down. So like her, right? Maybe they're going to take the leap. Maybe they're going to leave. Maybe they're going to go away from the comfort of their place. But maybe they're going to go back in. Maybe they're going to do their quiet time alone together once they get together. Maybe that's what's going on. Because there's something else that Spirit is talking about you don't need to die to go home. You can come home to one another. Home is where your heart is. And the last message, this is the one that was I know about this one. This is the one that was in reverse. So I'm going to flip it upright, but it was in reverse. And this is what I'm getting from this, from the reading that we had, all the different messages. It says, use your discernment, confide in a trusted friend, keep silent about knowledge. So what's going on now? We'll talk about it in reference to several different things. I hope the wind doesn't blow this away. Okay, let's put this up. We'll talk about it in reference to several different things here. There's something that you are, she's holding the key. Now look at the spider webs around her, right? She's got silver all around her. She's very magical. She's got butterflies, transformation, but she's holding a key. She is the keeper of secrets. So there's something that you need to not tell. You're tempted, maybe you're super excited, and when this happens, like maybe someone's going to ask you to elope. Maybe there's something that you have, like an idea or a new business or a thought for something, right? And it's really exciting and you really want to tell it. Or you've mastered a new gift, or something's happened, or you've seen something, or maybe like with me, I've seen something in a dream, and I've seen a lot of things lately, and I had a dream the other night, and it was so everything that I wanted, that I didn't tell anyone. I was almost afraid to say it out loud, because it's almost like when you speak it out loud, it loses the magic, right? It loses its strength, and I didn't want it to lose its strength. I want what was asked and what came to me, and it was amazing. So maybe there's something that you have to keep to yourself at this time, for that particular reason, or maybe you need to just act. So I'm thinking about these ones that are the one that's going to come and ask her something. This man from the forest, the Greenman's bride. He's been thinking about it, and he's got a thought, and he's got a gift he's coming to bring. He's going to ask her something. They're going to take this leap. He's going to ask for what it is. He's coming out of the forest. She's coming out of her hiding, and they're going on this adventure. Maybe this is what's going on, and maybe you would like to tell people, but they're saying it might be best. Spirit is saying it might be best to act first and talk about it afterwards. Just do it. Don't tell anybody. Maybe at this time you might feel obligated even. Well, my family should know, or my best friend should know, or maybe I should say, and Spirit is advising you not to. They're literally saying, you know what you need, you know what you want. Spirit's told you to take the risk. It's not a risk. Your heart's completely in it. You know it's all there. There might be a little bit of nerves happening, but Spirit said, no, we've got it covered. Everything's good. We've already looked into this, and it's going to be fine. Even if there are tears, they're going to be happy tears, tears of joy. So whatever it is that you're going to do, Spirit is saying, don't tell anybody right now. So it's about keeping a secret. So, and if you must share, they're saying choose very well, because this secret is very powerful. It's going to be successful. It's going to be incredible, but it's not going to be well known. It's going to be very, very quiet. It's going to be on the down low. In order for it to be successful, it must be this way, and that's good. So you can look at it as it's exciting. It's an exciting, super wonderful. Because remember when I said, every time I have these really, really special encounters with my animal messengers, they always represent my twin, and they're incredible. Like when I was up in Santa Cruz, up above Santa Cruz, I had a peregrine falcon came to me, and there was a pair, which made it even more exquisite. But what was so amazing was, I'll show you. I called him to me because I knew who he was, and I called him. I said, just come to me. And he came, and I swear, he wasn't right there. He was probably 2 feet higher than that, but right over my head. And he came, and it's interesting because I had my camera, like I was trying to videotape it at the time, and I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was freaking out the whole time. I just want to show you something really quick. 3 ducks in a row, ducks in a row. That's a message. You've got all your ducks in a row. Go for it. They're moving ahead. 3, full circle completion. Ducks talk about working together in a team. They talk about community effort. They talk about comforts of home. Excellent message for what we're just getting in this reading. And again, the barn swallow just came, and now there's a flycatcher on the railing. The flycatcher is going to pick off all of the the stuff that's in the way, the negative thoughts, worries, feelings, whatever it is, attachments. That's why the flycatcher's there. So Spirit's taking care of that. They're going to get rid of that, and you're not to worry about that. Okay, so I have this peregrine falcon. He's like above my head, right? And I'm flipping out, going, oh my God, he's so beautiful. And when I went to look at the video afterwards, there was no video. It wasn't there. I'm like, are you kidding me? In my dream, I won't tell you what the dream was, but I was shown animal totems, and they were whooping cranes. And the whooping cranes talk about soulmate connections. And they were beautiful. They were incredible. And I took my camera, and I videotaped. And no, I tried to take a picture. And for some reason, just because it was my higher self talking, I knew to look at my camera, and I looked at it again, and it was all black and white. And I thought, what? So I hit my camera, and I tried to take it again. And I looked at my camera again, and it was black and white, and the camera wouldn't take a picture. Every time I try and take a picture of an incredible animal messenger that represents my twin and I can't take a picture of it. It needs to be kept secret. It needs to be kept quiet. It's not supposed to be shown. And I said in my dream, when those beautiful whooping cranes were right above me, it was gorgeous. There was a couple and a child, which is what it felt like to me. It was, and I said, and I didn't say it out loud, but I was going, damn it, why can't I get this? Why can't I get this? Why can't I get this to come into focus? I was so mad. And I heard in the back of my head, some things are just for you. Some things need to be just for you. So in this situation, it needs to just be for you. And if it's just you with a project that you have, and you just have one trusted friend or someone because this is magic, this is miracles, this is stars, so maybe it's only Spirit you're sharing it with. Or maybe, as I said, it's this couple, this Greenman and his bride, and they're gonna go and nobody's there. And if there's anyone, It has to be just somebody that you know without any shadow of a doubt that you can trust. Otherwise, you keep it to yourself. That's our reading. So those are our messages. There's a lot of messages. I've never had that many messages before. It's ridiculous. And I didn't think I was going to do the, I should have done this way so I can see better. I was going to talk about the courtship one, but I guess it all came together. And, you know, so I got them all for a reason, but man, lots of reading. Okay, so that's it. So it's a beautiful day. I'm going to see if I can get my daughter to come down and hang out in the water with me. It's not so hot in California right now, which is beautiful. Sucks because it's supposed to go back up again and get blazing hot. My friends have been writing to me from Wisconsin, and they've had thunderstorms and rain. My friend in Canada, another one, and I was like, oh, my friend Christina was saying, oh, I wish you were here. I'm going to a fair, and it's only 73 degrees, and I'm like, oh, take me to the woods. Take me to the woods. But anyway, it's a beautiful day, and I'm grateful that it's cooler. So if you guys would like to have any help with life coaching, dream analysis, private readings, or long-distance Reiki healing, that's what I offer on my website. My website is www.theangelswhisper. I'm going to let you look. That swallow just dove in the water and picked up a fish. It was really cool. That was really cool. So I'll have you look out here. www.theangelswhisper.com. My email address is my name, Sherry Columbus, SherryColumbus at Yahoo, all together. Go to my website. You can check out all the things that I offer and choose what it is that works best for you. I'm really focusing on my private readings. I love them. I'm having a really good time with my life coaching. My readings, they're just getting stronger and more on, and I'm just so pumped from them, and it's funny because the people that I read for have almost all become my friends, which is really cool. I've got a really great, huge soul family now, which is another thing I think I was supposed to talk to you about. I have to say that really quick. These ones that have been in the forest, right? I've been in my tower. He's been in the forest. For a time, it was, and that was the message last night, was for a time it was important to be in a place that was safe. But it's also what came to light, especially yesterday, like when I said I need to connect. I knew that it wasn't to connect with the people that I used to be with. That wasn't in my highest good. I knew that it wasn't to connect with family members that were against the way I believe and who I am. It was my new soul family. It was, and I needed to connect. We are not right to be alone. We are not meant to be alone, and we are meant to reach out to our soul family. Now, these ones that are going to go off for a little while, they're going to be together. They are each other's soul family. But you can't be an island. You have to come out of your seclusion and reach out for where there is love, kindness, goodness, where the light leads. And it doesn't lead into a cave by yourself. It leads to others like you. So welcome your soul family in and open your heart to that. It doesn't mean that you have to be in each other's pocket. It doesn't even mean you have to be in each other's city. My soul family is all over the country. But I know that when I need to touch down, like last night, I spoke to my girlfriend Christina, Kamala. She was there, and she was a client at first, and now she's a friend, and it's awesome. And soul family, you know, we develop a soul family for a reason. Sometimes they'll be there for a time. Sometimes we'll keep them for a lifetime. But they're there for a reason. And as I said, the giant sequoias, they can grow to 350 to 500 feet in the air in 3 feet of soil, but their roots spread out. They spread out and they take hold so that they're firmly rooted. So it's our soul family that we need to reach out to. It's our spiritual family and our soul family. So do keep that in mind. Don't be an island. Do speak out. We've been getting that for quite a bit. It's time to speak out. Just get it out there. All right. Peace, love, and golden light.